name is Tony. My government name is Carrie. This is a video message to Wendy Williams of the Wendy Williams Show. How you doing? How you doing? Hi, Wendy. I've been told that I am your doppelganger in spirit and in looks. Well, if I'm not your doppelganger, at least we belong to the same tribe. And I am your Cancerian sister. Wendy, I am making this video because I'm going to share with you how you've influenced me. I too am going through a divorce, Wendy. And when we first heard about you going through a divorce, it was over a year ago, and I had been separated for maybe 5 or 6 months by that time. And we all were like waiting, like, is she going to say anything? Is she going to say anything about her divorce? And when you were going through it, I can fully relate to what was happening, because I too had went through it. And I thought, she's not going to say anything. You know, I was in a long-term relationship, a long-term marriage of 23 years. And I know how it feels when, when you've been in a long-term marriage, everyone kind of looks up to you like, yeah, you guys got it right. You're doing the right thing. You know what to do, And so when it falls apart, it's hurtful within the relationship, and it's kind of embarrassing, So when everyone was waiting for you to say something, I knew that you wouldn't. And I understood why. And then I think you went on hiatus for a while, and then you came back. And Wendy, I remember the first time you made mention to your divorce. It was a very subtle mention of your divorce. And when you first said it, I saw the fear in your eyes. And then you said it. You mentioned it. And then it was relief. You were like, your face was like, it wasn't so bad. And when I heard you say it, Wendy, you released me. See, Wendy, I have a girls group. I have over 800 girls in my group. I have a girls group. It's Girls Best Friend Beauties Meetup. And I had been separated for over a year, and I hadn't told anyone. I had said it. I probably didn't say it out loud that I was going through a divorce. When you said it on air that first time, I just remember the relief. I was like, I could say it too. And you made mention to it more frequently. And as you were able to say it, it made it easier for me. And I am very grateful. I want you to know that I know it's hard. I know it's a horrible thing. I mean, it was devastating for me, but you had to go through it in front of the world. And I appreciate you. I thank you, Wendy. You and I both, we love Oprah Winfrey. She's like an icon. But Wendy, you are like that sister. You are like that sister who holds your hand through trials and tribulations. And I can't thank you enough and explain to you how you've helped me. Plot twist. I am married to a fat white guy. Think Harvey Weinstein. Don't judge me. Love has no boundaries, right? And I'm making this video to ask you to help me, Wendy. I am going through a divorce in Los Angeles. I'm originally from the Bronx. My husband and I got married and moved to California back in 1993. And we are now going through a divorce. And it's being heard by 2 racist judges. And this is really very hard for me, Wendy. I need your assistance in this. The judge's name is Judge Sarah Heidel. She's a racist judge. She does not rule within policy or within the law. She bullies me every time we have a hearing. One of our hearings on May the 3rd, she purposely sabotaged my position in the divorce. I mean, Wendy, this is like Jim Crow. The thing she and the second judge's name, I call him the Grand Dragon Lawrence Riff. And incidentally, he's the same judge that heard Mel B's divorce. Anyway, Wendy, my husband made over $180,000 in 2018. And this woman didn't order any spousal support for me. She, please forgive me because I really want to get this out. And I want the world to know what's happening to me. I got rear-ended and I suffered a concussion. Okay, so the first time I went to court, I was a little delayed. I'm still experiencing some cognitive issues. So the first time I went to court, she thought I was a dumb black girl. I'm not a dumb black girl. I am a black woman who was in a abusive relationship for over 20 years. My husband is an abusive alcoholic, and I have endured an abusive marriage for 20 plus years. And I'm being persecuted by these judges. You can go to JudgeSarahHeidelIsAracist.com to learn about all the things that these two judges did to me. And the thing that concerns me the most is mind-boggling what they're doing with you, and believe. You have to go to JudgeSarahHeidelIsAracist.com and read what they're doing to me. And what struck me the most is that, you know, we hear about black men being murdered and their white killers going loose or being freed. And the reason why this is happening is because racist judges like Judge Sarah Heidel, racist Judge Sarah Heidel, and I call him Grand Dragon Lawrence Riff. So we always hear about these tragedies happening to black men. And, you know, it's happening to black women, but women, we are not as quick to come forth. We just endure, you know, abuse, and we just push through. It's what strong women do. So I'm sure horrible things are happening to black women, but we hear more about black men. And these things are happening because of judges like Judge Sarah Heidel, racist Judge Sarah Heidel, and Grand Dragon Lawrence Riff. You know, particularly the the Central Park 5. You know, I know we all think when we saw that on TV, everyone in America was like, how did this happen? Did this really happen? How many people had to be a party to those 5 boys being convicted and enduring prison sentences, and none of them were guilty? How does that happen? That happens because of white judges like this. And what hurts my heart the most, Wendy, is this lady doesn't know me. She didn't know me from Adam. She's doing this to me because I'm a black woman. This is a way how racist white people maintain economic power, is to try to hurt us and malign us. And this is why this is so important to me. You know, I love my husband. I love my husband. I'm not even going to lie to you. This is my husband of 20-something years. And just like you said, men are dumb. My husband was adopted in a wealthy family, racist family, And I don't know if you know. I mean, you know, you grew up around white people, so you know wealthy white people. And a lot of wealthy white people aren't very loving and nurturing, you know. And what I found out is, what I've discovered is, white men have daddy issues and black men have mommy issues. And men, please don't be offended by that, but that's just been my observation. And my husband is an alcoholic. He's been an alcoholic since we've been together. As I sit and I think about it, he's been an alcoholic since we met when he was 21. And the most alarming thing is that each time I attempt to testify in court that my husband is an abusive alcoholic, both of these judges ignore me and they tell me to shut up. I even submitted letters to the court, letters in cards, where he apologized to me, where he admits to being abusive, and they won't even acknowledge it, Wendy. They won't even acknowledge it. And in the state of California, being in an abusive relationship, it affects your divorce settlement, okay? And I'm kind of speechless because, Wendy, you know, I've been married to a white man most of my life. I went to college and school with white people. I've got a lot of white friends. I'm not, you know, I'm not racist. Like, I think you and I are very similar in many ways, where we grew up with white kids, white girls, and, you know, we had relationships with them, and those were our friends. So we're familiar, you know. But I knew that racism still existed. But what they're doing to me is unbelievable. How brazen that they are. This woman, Judge Sarah Heidel, has been a judge a little over a year. And what she's doing to me is unthinkable. This is about discrimination, white privilege, and the abuse of power. Winnie, this is very much about me being a black woman. Malcolm X once said, the black woman is the most unprotected, disrespected person in America. And I know every black woman who's listening to my voice would agree. This racial attack is about economics. It's a way of keeping us as second-class citizens and keep us lagging economically. You know, Wendy, once you told everyone, you said that your husband didn't mind you being in the spotlight, that he had no problem falling back and letting you shine. I can't say the same about my husband. My husband's a hater. You know, I became a housewife to appease him, and now he's using his white privilege to use the judicial system to continue to torture me. Through my divorce, the things that he's done to me, that these judges won't even allow me to testify. When someone will investigate and research, you'll see these people only let me speak. They only let me testify to the things that this man is doing to me. You know, last year, Wendy, I live in our home. I live in our marriage, the home of our marriage, and everything was in his name. I know you might think that was dumb, but this is my husband. You know, I love my husband. And just for uniformity, everything was in his name. Do you know, last year he had my lights cut off. I woke up one day and this man cut my lights off. Then, and I better say allegedly, because these other things that occurred, I can't prove that it was him, but I don't know. Someone came in my backyard and pulled the pipe out of my hot water heater so I couldn't have hot water. Someone came in my backyard and pulled the hot water, the pipe. They literally pulled the pipe off and left it on the side. I said something to his lawyer. His lawyer said, oh, he wouldn't do that. He said he didn't do that. allegedly. Then, twice last year, I went outside and my car had a flat tire. The same tire twice, I think within a 3-month period of time. Allegedly. I don't know. You know. Then, the most upsetting thing that happened is that, Wendy, one day I woke up and my Labrador was dead. I woke up and my Labrador was dead on the foot of the steps. And you know, I've been running around trying to defend myself within this horrible divorce. And I kind of noticed, you know, I sensed that maybe something was wrong with him. But Wendy, I woke up and my dog was dead. Like someone had poisoned him. And I know this is circumstantial. But get this. I have 2 dogs. The next day, my little dog, my little Yorkshire Terrier, also died. I can't prove it was him. I have to say alleged. But all these things occurred within a 6 to 8 month period. I'm going through a divorce. You do the math. Okay? My husband was raised with a wealthy family. Throughout our marriage, his parents would gift us $25,000 to $50,000 like every Christmas. This woman has no purpose, no reason for treating me the way she has, other than I'm a black woman. And you know, here's the thing. When you have the power and the influence over a person or a being, and you annihilate them, and you slaughter them, that's animalistic. This woman is an animal. The way that she's treating me without mercy is savage. This woman is an animal. I was a good wife for 23 years. I raised 2 amazing children. I got 2 amazing children. My daughter got a partial scholarship. She is thriving. And they will not let me speak or say anything. And Wendy, I want to use this platform to try to make a difference. This is so much. I'm overwhelmed. I want to tell you all the horrible things that have happened. So, on May 3rd, she did the unthinkable. You got to go to Judge Sarah Heidel is a racist.com to read what she did to me. And so when she did this to me, I attempted to file a motion to have her disqualified for racial bias and misconduct. The clerk at the Pomona court would not allow me to file this motion. You know, it's a lot here, and I know this video is already long, so I want to give you what's important. So she became alarmed. See, remember, she thought I was a dumb black girl because Wendy, you know, when you're going through a divorce and I had medical issues, I got rear-ended, you know, I'm delayed sometimes. And in the beginning, she would talk, and I really didn't understand what she was saying because I was really having a hard time. So she thought I was a dumb black person. And then each time she would do it, I mentioned, I said in court, ma'am, I'm a little concerned that you are showing racial bias. May 3rd, she did the unthinkable. So I filed this motion. She did something to prevent me. The clerk would not file the motion. Then I got something in the mail saying that I never served her. He didn't file it. He told me he had to speak to her and to call back. Okay? So what happened, she moved the hearing to Los Angeles to this Grand Dragon Judge Riff. Okay? And, oh God, this is so horrible. She moved it to LA. And so now I got the second judge who, he's even worse. You know, at first I thought maybe it would be okay because he has a black clerk. But what I've discovered, Wendy, when racist people are in power, they employ a black person to kind of mask the racism. Okay, Wendy. This broaches the subject of the house nigger. Girl, I know it's kitchen table talk, and I know you said, woo, no, you didn't say that. The house nigger. Wendy, I know this is kitchen table talk. You know, I once had a heated debate on Twitter with John Sally about him hosting the Basketball Wives reunion. So I know how it affects the image of black people to show these things about us. So the house nigger is not something we really want to put on Front Street, but we need to address it. In other videos, I am going to address the house nigger. Today, he's referred to as the anti-black person. And so, the house nigger is important. And so we don't know if it's a house nigger or if the house nigger is a double agent. You know, but that also influences the demise of the black man. These anti-black people. So essentially, Wendy, the main purpose of this video is to ask you to assist me in this journey. I've created a GoFundMe page. I'm trying to raise $50,000 to hire attorneys so I could have this Sarah Heidel removed from my case. And now, recently, to Judge Lawrence Riff, he did something horrible last week. It's so horrible, I don't even want to discuss it. You guys have to go to Judge Sarah Heidel's a racist to find out what this grand dragon Lawrence Riff did to me. What he did was more egregious than what she's done. And brazen. He sat in court, he just lied. So, Wendy, I've created a GoFundMe page. I want to raise $50,000 so I can hire attorneys to have these judges removed from my case. And you know, based on laws, I think it's called it's called some statement of fact, a statement of law. Each thing that has happened goes against policy. So I can probably have them removed just based on what they've done, how they've treated me, that it's a clear bias, or they are not like sitting and presiding over my case and are not making legal judgment. But I want them removed for racial bias. I want to set a precedence that these two judges are maligning me because I'm married to a white man who is enjoying white privilege, and I'm a black woman. And you know, black people, we can get angry, we can get mad, you know, but I have to tell you, I'm an American, and I love my country. I love being an American. Is it some downfall? Is it some woes? Yeah, but you know, I met a lot of black guys, they're like, the card is stacked against them, and they feel defeated. But you know what? You have to fight for yours. And black people, we can't sit here and wait for them to help us, to give us a helping hand. They're white people with integrity. They're white people who are conscientious and recognize that this is happening. But it's about ownership and accountability. We are Americans. We pay taxes. We should be able to enjoy America and have these liberties. Okay? So, black people, black women, I mean, for me, this is about the black woman. Black men, I love you. I know this is happening to you, but because this is happening to me, I am so afraid of what's happening to other black women. When you always say, oh, if a judge takes kids from your mom, after seeing what these people have done to me, God knows what they're doing to black women and their children. Black men, I mean, you have a black son, like I do, and you're a good mom. You're a good mom. You did a great job raising your kid because you had the the assets and the ability, or the, the, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm so sorry. I'm delayed, Wendy. I think you can relate. But you have the resources to raise your son. What's happening to these black single women who's raising these black boys? We see all these things happening to these black boys. Why are they happening? Because the mother, what's happening to the mom? I'm pro-women. And so this is happening to black people, but this is about, for me, primarily for black girls, for black women. Black women, I have a campaign. It's called Help a Sister Out. I have a GoFundMe page. You go to you go to Judge Sarah Heidel is a racist.com. And, I'm asking you, I'm begging you, if 100,000 people see this video and a percentage of them donates a couple dollars to my GoFundMe page, I can hire adequate lawyers, because by law, everything they've done is wrong. Every single thing she has done to me has been outside the guidelines of the law. What this man did? Oh, goodness. This man, I don't know how long he's been on the bench, but let me tell you something. He has probably been persecuting the hell out of niggas. Whew, excuse me, but that's real, okay? So Wendy, I've got this GoFundMe page, and I don't know if any way you can help me by shedding light to this. Norman, you gave $5 to TLC. If you give $5 to TLC, I'm hoping you would give $5 to my Help a Sister Out campaign, so I can hire appropriate attorneys to honestly, my marriage is over. I'm very clear about that. It's done. This is no longer about my marriage. This is about me being a black person and these people maligning and persecuting me because I'm a black person. I'm a good person, and I'm still today astonished what they're doing. This is just like Jim Crow. Okay? So Wendy, I know this video is long. I'm going to ask you to help a sister out. Shout out to the Lady Sitter. # help a sister out.